Hello my children, your father has brought you a new swatching video. Prism Parade just released their new Roadside Oasis collection featuring 5 shimmery shades that are inspired by spring break road trips. Think Palm Springs, Trixie Motel, Cars, but not Cars 2. Do you get it?
No.
Route 66.
Want to know what I remember from Cars? Kachow. And I didn't even watch that one.
I need you to know that every time I walk under the gate and the gate opens because it thinks that I'm a car, I say to myself, Kachow. Every time. To myself. And when the gate doesn't open, I go, not Kachow. Today I'm going to be showing you the new collection, see how they compare to things in my collection, testing their potential over black, and end with a mind-blowing nail art. For all these swatches, I'm going to do them in 3 coats for consistency over a blurring base coat, because I have fairly stained nails. And before we get into this, quick reminder before we start, I do have an affiliate code with Prism Parade, so if you're interested in any Prism Parade polishes that are shown in this video, make sure you click the link below or use the code that maybe I'll put up on screen. I think I know how to do that on Final Cut Pro now. And now that our bags are all packed, let's get this vacation started. And first up is Paloma Sunset. This polish is described as a bright coral lacquer with a shifty gold shimmer. Did I do it in one coat? Oh, one take? My brain is in nail polish. And on the first coat I found... Oh no. Flesh nail.
Paloma.
Paloma's a flesh nail. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna pretend that this polish is named after French drag queen and complete icon Paloma. But a Paloma is a grapefruit cocktail, so the color is actually pretty spot on here. I found this shade to be pretty thin on the first coat, but I did get it to full opacity in 3. And I think even though this is a really pink-leaning polish, that golden shimmer is made for me, making me surprisingly like this shade. For comparisons, I put it next to other shimmery orange-pink polishes. The closest I think is Fleur Sauvage from Mooncat's recent Baroque Ken collection. Both have a similar color, but the pigment is slightly larger in Paloma Sunset, allowing you to see the individual glitters on the nail. There is also a slight difference in shimmers, as Paloma Sunset is gold while Fleur Sauvage is slightly pink. Finally, I also put this next to a couple of colors from Holo Taco's Light Mode collection from a while back. Sidebar, you can tell that these are the old bottles because they still have the skinny brush. Thank goodness they switched to the wide brush. Regardless, the polishes in that collection are bright and vibranty, shifty colors, hence the similarities, so don't be surprised if you see other polishes from that collection later on. However, Sunset Simulation is a more light burnt orange color, and Encryption Key, while containing a gold shimmer, is ultimately a fairly hot pink polish. So overall, I surprisingly like this color. On the first coat, I didn't really like it, but it grew on me, like the flesh that it looked like on that first coat. Moving on, we have Golden Mirage. My favorite. This polish is described as a bronze-leaning gold lacquer with a golden shimmer that shifts to green at extreme angles. And I'm about to be annoying, well, more annoying than normal, with how obsessed I am with this polish. Like, I loved it on the very first swipe of the polish, visible nail line and all. Like, listen to my actual reaction when I finished that swatch. Oh, I love her. And after the second coat, it honestly looked perfect. But this was also when I decided I wanted to do 3 coats to be consistent with all the polishes, so I went to add that in. However, I accidentally turned off the camera the moment that I was about to start the swatch, so you don't get to see the third swatch, but you can see the finger wiggle after. I love it when I turn to look at him and he turns to look back at me. Regardless, this polish is just so golden and gorgeous that it just looks rich. I'm a big fan. As for comparisons, I have nothing like this in my collection. The closest was Bottle Service by Holo Taco, but the pigment is far larger and it also has a holographic sparkle. Another similar Holo Taco shade was Zyler Cat Eye, unmagnetized, but that pulls a little bit more brassy than gold. Finally, I put it next to a bit of Bubble A by Cracked, which is more of a cool gold than a warm gold, so entirely different. So as I said, I'm obsessed with this shade, and it even inspired the nail art that I'm going to show a little bit later in the video. Oh, I mean, right now. Don't look. Shh. Spoilers. Next up is Beneath the Palms. This is described as a light green lacquer. Lacquer?
Lacquer?
I hardly know her! This is described as a light green lacquer filled with a pink to gold shimmer and a touch of microfine holographic glitters. Okay, so it's a well-known fact that I'm a certified visible nail line hater, but why do I love this in the first coat? Like, there's clearly so much visible nail line, but maybe the golden shimmer and the green jelly-ish base just makes it kind of look like jade on the nail, and I really like it. I'm confused here. I hate visible nail line, but I like this. On the flip side, I'm not sure if full opacity is actually the goal here because I still had visible nail line after 3 coats. But as I've said a plethora of times, there is a give and take between opacity and formula depth, and this one really is more on the depth of the shimmer side of that spectrum. As for comparisons, I have a couple of other shimmery green polishes of a similar tone, both by Mooncat. Tectonic Shift is pretty much spot on for the base color, but the shimmery pigment has a larger size and also shifts into the red direction. Love's Labyrinth is another color that is similar in shade, except more sage leaning. It's also a linear hollow, so it's not the same as well. So I don't know what's come over me. I somehow like this more in 1 coat than in 3. Like, who am I if I'm not a visible nail line hater anymore? That's like 40% of my personality. What am I even doing here?
I'm the Naildadddy now.
Moving on, we have Poolside. This is described as an aqua blue lacquer with a large particle golden shimmer and a touch of microfine holographic glitters. Now this one pretty much built up the same way as the last one, but it didn't give me an existential crisis like the last one did in the first coat. It also didn't have as saturated color on the first coat, not really making it look like a blue polish until about the 3rd coat. At that point, however, the blue that did form was this gorgeous, stunning aqua color. There wasn't as much visible nail line on the 3rd coat, but there was just about a hint, but it could be for the same reason as I said on the previous shade. For comparisons, I have one color that's pretty close, that being Light Link by Hollow Taco. It is a similar base tone, but the golden shimmer is much stronger, which makes it more of a green polish. The Siren's Revenge by Mooncat is a little close, but ultimately is more of a seafoam and has a different underlying shimmer. Finally, I'm not too sure why I thought Mermaid Bait, also by Mooncat, would be a good comparison. Mermaid Bait shifts way more pink and may look similar in theory, but nothing alike in practice. Oh geez, I just wrote I can't think of what to say here, that'll be future me's problem. Past me! You're a jerk! Why did I—
How do you feel about this polish?
It's blue, it's pretty, let's go on to the next one. And finally, we have Desert Blossom. This polish is described as a lilac purple lacquer with a pink to gold shimmer and a touch of microfine holographic glitter. She's a really, really pretty lilac. Really pretty. It has a really nice base tone, and the golden shimmer pulls it more into a warmer direction, playing really nicely with the cool base lilac color. And I was initially really worried about the coverage on that very first coat because I was having a really difficult time covering the tip of the nail, but that problem solved itself by the 3rd coat. And in the end, it had one of the best opacities from the entire set for me. As for comparisons, I have a couple of other shimmery purples to put it next to. I ultimately don't think any of these are dupes, as the tones are entirely different. Mooncat's Such Sweet Sorrow is too much of a bright, shiny purple, so while stunning, is nothing alike. Apocalypse Polish's Demo Gorgeous is stunning, but the shimmer is blue, pulling it too cool. Which, speaking of Apocalypse Polish, as I'm recording this, I'm still working on a review of their first 2 collections, which were Stranger Things themed. When we filmed the facecam portion of that, I didn't plug in the mic correctly and we lost almost 2 hours of footage. Why did I write teehee here? That's not a good thing.
I wrote teehee.
You jerk! Anyways, last up is Flash Drive from Hollow Taco, which is too vibrant of a pink that it looks less purple. So overall, this one really surprised me. Not because I thought it wasn't going to be a good polish, but the color is so pink leaning that I didn't think I was going to love it. Like, I don't know what's happening to me in this video. First, I liked the first polish that was pretty pink leaning, and then I liked the green polish in just 1 coat, and now I like this one that's just a pink's cousin. Like, what's happening? Is this character growth? And here's the full collection. I really like the colors that were chosen for this, as it's a satisfying rainbow to provide options to customers, but it also has the unifying formula of the gold shimmer. As I said before, my standout is Golden Mirage because gold polish just makes my heart skip a beat, but I really like this whole collection. Speaking of gold, I've been wanting to do this split manicure to make a music video inspired by Shadow of a Man from Lady Gaga's newest album. To achieve this, I took Prism Parade's Black Polish Noir and placed it on one side of the nail using the bottle brush. On the other side of the nail, I painted Golden Golden Mirage, letting it overlap slightly. I did 2 decent coats of each color and then went in with a third, letting the layers overlap a little bit more. Then I put blobs of both polish on my silicone nail art mat and used a fan brush to blend them on the mat first, and then picked up that blend and painted it onto the nail. You want to gently swipe the brush down the nail, allowing the gradient to establish. I was using thinner coats and there was less polish, hence why I had to go in again and blend it one more time. One thing that helps as well is to swipe the fan brush in slightly different positions so you can establish a better blend of the polishes in the middle of the brush. And finally, after a few swipes, this nail art is complete. And honestly, I'm in love with how this looks, as it gives an aura or velvet style magnetic manicure without having to deal with a magnet. And Golden Mirage is so shiny that the effect is even more stunning in direct sunlight.
Take it.
And this wasn't even that hard, because I don't even think I went through one single listening of Mayhem to get through this. Oh, Mayhem.
Mayhem.
It wouldn't be the Prison Parade video if I didn't say that wrong at least once. But I love how there's this new color that shows up directly on the overlap, which made me want to swatch this collection over black. One of my favorite things about Prism Parade is their polishes usually slap over black, as they're filled with a shimmery pigment that pops over a darker base. I think while this collection is nice over black, it isn't as stunning as some of their others, as this collection has a unifying golden shimmer, which is the predominant feature when over a black base. That said, some standouts are beneath the palms, which looks more red than the red polish in this collection, leading to this really cool effect. Poolside somehow turned green, which I'm not mad at, and Desert Blossom turned into this dark and moody, yet whimsical purple, which I'm a big fan of. And before we wrap things up, it's time for the WOMO. WOMO! Yeah!
Maybe you should just say what's on my other hand.
What's on my other hand? Yeah! Currently, I'm wearing a selection of hollow tacos off the deep end jellies with cracked taco shell over it. I'm a huge fan of that collection, as it's just so packed full of flakies that I was curious to see what would happen if I added a crackle top coat. And I know my love for crackle top coat clocks my age quicker than my lack of hairline or low-rise socks, but dang nammit, I like what I like. Now get off my lawn, you kids! Bah! So now that you've seen everything, let me know in the comments below what you think. How do you feel about collections that are different colors but all share the same finish, like this one? I'm a big fan, but that's because I really like gold. Wink, wink, wink.
Spoilers.
Are you ready for your spring break? Nail Husband and I are going to New York City to see Orville Peck because he's gonna have a run as the MC in Cabaret, and I'm so excited because I love Orville. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Oh, wait, I want to use this hand.
Not Kachow. Kachow.